Hi, welcome back to Therapy Designs. If you're new to this channel, my name is Kelly, and this channel is all about teaching you how to create print-on-demand designs that sell. And as a bonus, if you stay tuned till the end of the video, I have a list of 5 bonus niches that you guys can be working on right now. So right now I am on Etsy, and this is one of my listings that I'm going to be showing you guys how to do today. This is for a custom notepad. Now this one I've got customized for physical therapists, but again, you can customize it for any niche, for any person, for any style that you like. I am going to be talking about this. This is also a custom mock-up, by the way. So the mock-ups that I put in here again are mock-ups that I made. And so you can see the different mock-ups. That one actually came with it. That was not custom made, and that one was not custom made. But of course I went with the custom made one for my own. But anyways, I'm going to show you guys how you can do this. And so for starters, this product is available on Printful. So if you were to go over to Printful, and I do have Printful integrated with my Etsy shop. I also have Printify and PrintKK integrated with my Etsy shop, and sell products on my Etsy shop from all of those different platforms. It just depends on the product and, you know, what it is I'm trying to sell. But here I am on the product catalog for Printful, and we are going to go ahead and we're going to be looking at home and living, and then we've got home decor, drinkware, stationery. So we're going to be in the stationery section. We can hit stationery, custom stationery, and we can see they've got a lot of the wall calendars going on here, the greeting cards, stickers. They've got wrapping paper now, postcards, spiral notebooks, hardcover notebooks, so all sorts of different things. But here is the notepads. And so they have 3 different sizes of notepads that you can do. I'm going to show you how I did this long one here, the skinny one. That is the 4.5 inch by 9 inch magnetic back one, which I thought was good. It's good for making lists, and you can go ahead and stick it on a fridge or something. So it was the one that I decided to go with. But of course, you can design for all 3 of these sizes. They're going to have different dimensions, so the designs are going to have to be a little bit different for each. But we're going to go ahead and just start with this one. And so it is 4.25 by 9 inches. So now we're going to have to turn that into pixels. And so people get confused how to do that. It's a little bit of math. You have to look at ratios. So the ratio of 4.25 to 9 essentially is the ratio that you're looking at. Sometimes I can just go ahead and say, instead of inches, we'll make this pixels. So let's say it's 4.25 pixels by 9 pixels. Now we want to make it as big as possible. So let's say we multiplied it by 100, and now we would have 425 pixels by 900 pixels. Well, that's still not very big. So we're just going to go ahead and multiply it again. So let's say we multiply that times 2 or by 3 or by 4. Anyways, the number that I ended up calculating that I wanted to do was 2,550 pixels by 5,400 pixels. And so that is nice and large, and it's going to work really well for Canva, which is where I choose to design. A lot of these, though, if you come down, let's see if I can find the right sizes here. File guidelines, they'll usually give you file guidelines. No, they're doing it in inches. So it's just going to show you the inches, but it's not going to calculate the pixels for you. Of course, you'll see here, submit files in a PNG format with at least 300 DPI. Well, DPI is going to depend on the size of the product and how many pixels you have. So if you're unsure about that, by the way, I do have a video on my channel explaining the difference between DPI and pixels. And so you can look that up just to make it a little bit clearer for you. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to jump over really quick to Canva, and we're going to make a design here for this notepad. So I'm over on Canva's homepage, and we're going to start by going over to custom size. And so for this design, I decided again that we were going to go with 2,550 pixels by what was going to be 5,400 pixels, and we can hit create a new design. And so that is going to give us this. So this is what would essentially be the same dimensions as the notepad. And so we're going to start by kind of figuring out what we're going to do. So what I want to do is one, obviously, for my shop, which is focused towards the medical providers more, I'm going to do another physical therapy one. So I'm going to have DPT, Doctor of Physical Therapy, customize it for the name, and just sort of do it that way. So I'm going to start by hitting text. For me, I'm going to start by going with DPT. I'll make that nice and big. That's going to go across the top here. I'm going to hit another text box. This one is going to say Doctor of Physical and Therapy. I know it's so small. I can't see it. Let's do this. Doctor of Physical Therapy. And by the way, we can go ahead and zoom in to make that a little bit easier to do this part of the design. And then another text box here. This would be the name. I'm just going to go ahead and use my name. And it is going to go here. And so now we're going to be picking some fonts. I'm going to keep it pretty simple. We want this to be relatively professional looking, so we're going to go with more of that corporate style. So if I was to go over to fonts, I can go ahead and do the corporate here. And my two favorite corporate ones that I use the most are going to be Alike, which is a really good one, and very similar is this Text Gyrate Termis, which is the one I'm going to go ahead and do. That's just a nice clear look. And I'm going to do the same thing for the DPT and for the name here. So let's go ahead and make that nice and big. I would go ahead and make the name about the same width here. So I can just go ahead and go like that. And then this, I'm going to put in more of a script, and I'm going to go right across the top here. And so for this one, let's go ahead and start by capitalizing some of these. Leave that lowercase, keep that capitalized, and keep that capitalized there. And so for this one, I decided to go with a script font. I did look for a while. I wanted it to be a little bit more elegant, something, small and flowy that I could put right across the top. After searching for a little bit, I did land on one that was called Gardeniza Regular, right there, nice and scripty. Very pretty, and I was going to have it go across the top like that. Okay, so it was actually going to go over the top. Now you can't see it right here because I'm going to have to do different colors, but I'm going to pick my colors based on what I'm going to use for just like my corner accents. So I don't know quite what color I'm going to do yet. So I'm just going to go ahead and leave that there. I do want to put a little accent line underneath my name here. So I can go over to Elements. And what we can do is put like borderline and see what comes up. And I can go to Graphics. And you can see all sorts of really pretty border lines here. So there's different ones that you can see with the different like dots, or some of the decorative scrolly ones. And so you can kind of pick whatever sort of border line you want. And you can see just all of the different styles. And any one of these would look nice. There's ones that are a little bit more viney. And so look through, find whichever one that you think is going to work best for your design. Really, it doesn't matter. There's just a ton of really cool looking ones. And so you can try several out. That one's really pretty there. That one's really pretty there. More magic recommendations. Another one. There you go. So different styles. They all look pretty cool. Let's just pick one. Let's just pick this last one that I came up with. Why not? That would go kind of right here under the name. So something like that. Actually, that one looks a little too thick for me now that I'm saying it. Okay, changed my mind. I decided to go with this one right here, so it's just a little bit more elegant. So now what we're looking for is some border pieces. Now, nothing would stop me from just saying, okay, I'm going to leave it just like this and keep it pretty plain. I mean, that's kind of boring. I don't really like that. I do want to put some elegant, more border pieces around it. But you could, if you wanted to, just, make those different colors, throw that up there, throw this up here and call it good. Maybe change the colors, call it good. You don't have to put any little accents on it, but I do like that. You could also, if you wanted to, go ahead and put like notebook lines And so you'll notice that, for example, some papers will come with lines that come across like this. And so you could do a lined version like that and just bring the lines all the way down and Control D and do something like that and have it be lined paper if you want to. So lots of different ways that you could go about doing this. I'm not going to put the lines on there, but that's just one option that you could do. Here's one like that. Depends on how much you want the lines. Anyways, so went off on a tangent. Sorry. Let's go ahead and look at corner borders. So corner border, and you're going to find all sorts of fun corner borders. And so there's tons that you can do. Some, more abstract looking ones, some more ornate looking ones. I like some of the floral ones that I think look pretty cool. I really like more of this style because I think that style looks pretty cool. And this one does have some magic recommendations that I can look at. This one will have some look a little top and a bottom. I'd have to separate that, but those look pretty cool there. So I've got lots of different border style ones that I like. Any one of those I think looks pretty cool. I like the sort of watercolory style that I'm seeing here. And so I might end up going with one of these and just keeping it real simple. Let's see what I've got. So I decided to do a more targeted search because I did kind of like that sort of floral or leafy look that I saw. So I decided to do a search now for a floral corner border. And so now it's a little bit more targeted. And what I'm seeing is a lot of different cool ones with, flowers and different things, of course. By doing this, obviously, I'm targeting this again towards more of a female. You could, again, you can do whatever style that you like, and you can definitely do things that are targeted more towards a male or a more gender neutral. This one, obviously, if I start adding some flowers, it's going to be a little bit more targeted towards the women, but that's okay. Okay, so after searching for a little bit, I've decided to go with this one right here. I really liked it. It's pretty simple. There's no flowers in it. It does have the leaves, and some pretty nice colors. And so what I decided to do is I'm going to go ahead and border the entire page with this, I think. So I'm going to start down at the bottom, and I'm going to bring it, maybe I can bring it halfway, something like that, or I can do a little more if I want it to overlap, but then I can take it, I can hit Control D and duplicate it. And then let's say I wanted to flip it horizontal, I can now bring it onto the other side there. So I'm getting that kind of a border, and that looks pretty cool. I can do the same thing, hit Control D, bring it up, flip it vertically. So now it's going this way. Get the same kind of effect up here at this corner. And then one more time, hit Control D, flip that one horizontally, bring it, over to the other side. And so now we've just sort of got those little corners there, and that looks pretty cool. If I did want it to maybe overlap a little bit more, let's see if I did this, how that might look. I can get it overlapping, and actually that looks kind of cool there with that little bit of overlap. It brings it up the page a little bit more. So let's say we're going to do that. So I'm just going to go ahead and bring these so that they're same size. So something like that. And that looks pretty cool. So I like the way that that looks as my corner. And so now that I've got that, I've got some colors that I can use a little bit more, and then I can fit this, the text in a little bit better. So I'm going to start by just making sure that my corners are all the way to the back. Want them all the way to the back layer so that they're not going to interfere with my words here. So I'm going to start by bringing all of this down a little bit because I'm going to resize it. So let's start with the DPT here. I'm going to resize it. So I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. So maybe something like that is going to work a little bit better. And then maybe I'm going to go ahead and make the color here, maybe one of the darker colors. So something like that or something like that, really make it one of the darker colors in there. I can go ahead now and take my Doctor of Physical Therapy. I can bring it up and across, and then what I could do would be to make it one of the lighter colors, so something more like that, or I could do it the opposite. Actually, now that I'm thinking, the opposite might look good. Let's make the DPT maybe a lighter color, and let's make that one darker. So it goes across. It's going to be a little easier to read. And make sure that that's kind of centered pretty good. And so that looks kind of cool there. And then what I would do would be to take my name part. Again, make sure that that looks pretty centered, and maybe go ahead and make that nice darker green too. And I can make this maybe the lighter green or the darker green, depends on how I want that to look. Again, I can center it in the page. And so something like that actually looks pretty cool. Might need to shrink that down a smidge. And so there we go. Liking the way that that's looking. And that's pretty awesome there. And so that is just one way that you can do it. Now, of course, you can do whatever the heck you want, design this however you like, but once you get it to designed more or less the way that you like, once you've got it the way that you like it, now we can just go ahead and save it. So it's titled DPT, I'll leave it alone. I'm gonna go ahead and share it, download. I'm going to leave a transparent background and just hit download. And then what we can do is jump over to Printful and go ahead and put it up and see how it looks. So I'm back on Printful now, and I'm going to go ahead and hit create product template. And it's going to give me the choice between horizontal and vertical. Let's go ahead and go with vertical. And we're going to go ahead and upload our picture. So we can go over to upload here and go ahead and upload what we just made, and we'll hit apply, and there you go. So what you can see is it fits on there pretty perfectly. It'll tell you right here what the print quality is. So print quality is good. It is 584 DPI at the pixels that we used. So we used really good quality. I can go ahead and look at the mock-up to see how it's going to look. Now, whenever you're doing something like this, there'll be bleed lines, which means that around the sides are going to look like they're cut off. And so you have to make sure that the important stuff, which is the name, is inside of those bleed lines. And then, you know, like your flowers and stuff are going to look like they're on the outside. And so that looks pretty cool. And we can see what the actual mock-up here is going to look like when it's on something. And so I liked that. I thought that that looked pretty good there. Simple, floral. It's got the color pattern I like. So let's go ahead. We can save that template. And now if I wanted to add this to my store, I could. So right now, if I was like adding it to my store, I've got the template here. I can go to proceed to mockups. You can, you know, do the basic mockups. I would go ahead and just, you know, you can use any of them that you like. I'm going to go ahead, obviously, and make my own, but I can start, you know, just click what you want, hit continue. Here's where you're going to do the title here. So, you know, mine would be like custom, custom physical therapy notepad, or gift for physical therapists, graduation gift for physical therapists, thank you gift for physical therapist, Doctor of Physical Therapy gift, Doctor of Physical Therapy notepad. So any of those would look good. You can add to your description here. And so whatever you want to go ahead and add to your description, if you want to, you can add info about print on demand. I always like to do that. And so it'll tell you that the product is made especially for you, which is why it takes us a bit longer. But it also says making products on demand instead of in bulk helps reduce overproduction. So thank you for making thoughtful purchasing decisions. I like that. Here's where we would add in our tags. So anything that you want for whatever your particular product is, and you're allowed up to 13 tags, and you can select your product sections, and then you would go ahead and hit continue. It'll bring you to the pricing. This is where you can go ahead and select your price. I sell this for $14.99, and I put it on sale for 30% off. So in order to get the price that I want to put here, I would have to go $14.99 and then divide that by 0.7. That's going to give me the price that I put here, so that when I do put it on sale, I have it at $14.99. And then the customer is also paying for the shipping, so I don't have to worry about that. And so that is what I do there. Now, if I go back to my Etsy shop real quick, we can see that I've got obviously my own custom mockups. And so in order to do that, what I had to do was go back over to Printful. I'm going to download their plain mockups. I'm going to go over to Canva and I'm going to use them to create my own mockups. And so just real quick, I don't want to take too much time with this. If you go to your product and you hit the three little buttons here, I can go to download mockups, basic mockups, and then here is where I can download all of those. So I can select the ones that I wanted. So let's say I want to, download just the blank version of the front. I can do that, or the product detail ones. I like that too. So these are the ones that I used for my product detail. So I downloaded all three of these versions, and I downloaded them honestly just as a JPEG, but you can do a PNG, doesn't matter, and hit generate mockups. And then what you'll do after it generates the mockups is you'll have to hit it again. This time it says download a mockups. Now, if you download more than one, it'll be a zip file. You'll have to open the zip file and drag and drop into your downloads, each individual PNG file. And then I go ahead and go back over to Canva. So I'm on Canva. If I want to go ahead and just create a custom mockup here, I can do custom size. Let's say I want to make a nice square mockup. I can do 4,000 now by 4,000 pixels. Hit create new. And then over here, I'd go to uploads, and I'm going to upload the downloads that I just got off of Printful. And I'm just going to choose this one here. So this is one that I just got off of Printful. And so it was pretty plain, pretty boring. There wasn't anything to it. So what I can do here is I can make it look like maybe it's sitting on a counter or sitting on a desk or something like that. So to do that, I can do elements. I can search. Maybe it's on a marble background, which is what I ended up doing. I just put marble background. I went with photos, and I just picked something that was going to look like a pretty simple marble background. Pulled it out, something like that, sent it to the back. And so here is my thing now sitting on a marble countertop. And again, that's a large marble. I could do a smaller one, but let's say we went with that. Then I added a drop shadow. So I hit edit. I went to shadows, add a small drop shadow there. So maybe bring that intensity way down. The distance is going to come way down because it's just a really small drop shadow there. So something like that. We can see how much you want to kind of blur it or not blur it. Something there. And so there's just my little drop shadow to make it look like it's actually laying there. And then maybe just one more thing, like add a pen. And then any pen you want. Some of these already have shadows with them. So like if I picked this pen here, it's already got a shadow. I can angle it so it goes a little bit more like that, shrink that pen way down, and put it kind of next to there. And so that could be a mock-up there, something pretty simple. And so that's how I created the mock-up on my shop. So if you go to my shop, here it is. That's that exact same mock-up, marble background, threw on a pen, threw a shadow on, and that's all there was to it. I did the same thing here with the close-up markup. I just took that close-up and put it right on top of what would look like a little marble background. And so pretty easy to create these custom mockups, but they looked a lot better than just having a plain white background. And so I didn't want this video to go too long. I know I just did a video on journals where I went over everything, which included the Etsy listing and how to change it and how to put up the mockups. So if you need more information, if you go to my channel and look up the custom journals video, it goes over everything, but it is literally twice as long. If you have any questions about this, drop it in the comment section below. I try to get back to everybody as quickly as I can. I hope you guys are doing good. I hope you're expanding your portfolio, learning new skills, learning and trying out different products to see what kind of works for you in your shop, in your niche. And I just hope you guys are doing good. And as promised, I do have a list of 5 bonus niches for you. So as promised, here is a list of 5 bonus niches for you guys. Okay, so number 1, I speak fluent sarcasm. Number 2, that's a horrible idea. What time? Number 3, in my defense, I was left unsupervised. Number 4, my favorite childhood memory is my back not hurting. And number 5, if you don't want a sarcastic answer, don't ask a stupid question. So these are all just funny, sarcastic sayings, and you guys can come up with really fast and quick, easy ways that you can go ahead and design for this as just a text-based design. Again, I hope you guys are doing good. If you have any questions, drop it in the comment section below. I try to get back to everybody as quickly as I can, and I do read all the comments. Thank you so much for all of your kind words, and I do hope to see you guys again. That's it for today's video. If you found that useful and would like to see more videos with helpful tips and tricks, be sure to hit like and subscribe, and turn on your notifications so you don't miss any of the weekly videos. As always, keep growing and stay creative, and we'll see you next time.